Hello and welcome to the Mortgage Marketplace. This is Victor Camba, joined with my co-host Erich Tratnik. And today, we're going to share with you how we help realtors convert more leads into sales by tackling their clients' biggest challenge, the down payment. Plus, we'll give you an easy tip that you can use today to generate more business within your existing client database. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for joining us. And hello, Erich.
Hi, Victor.
Today we have a very exciting show for realtors, but we're in the mortgage business. So you might ask, why are we talking to agents? And I say, it's because as we all know, the realtor and mortgage broker relationship go hand in hand.
Absolutely. We value them as referral partners, so we're always ready to share ideas. And by the way, if you're a realtor looking for ideas or tips to build a long-term sustainable business, hit that subscribe button or follow us on Apple, Google Podcasts, and Spotify venues.
Now also on Amazon Music.
Yes, we're on all your favorite podcast platforms. And if you have a minute, please help us by rating and reviewing our show, since more people can find us that way.
Awesome. Now, today, we're going to talk about a very specific strategy that we've been using with referral partners with great success, which is why we now want to share that with you. Now, it's not a new strategy, but it's definitely become highly relevant in today's crazy GTA housing market. Speaking of which, there seems to be no end in sight. CMHC just released their Housing Outlook report, forecasting Toronto average home prices to hit somewhere around 1.51 million by 2024. Given this, what's one of the biggest challenges, or what's at the top of a realtor's mind?
It's affordability, or the lack thereof. More specifically, it's the challenge of clients coming up with a minimum down payment. As prices continue to climb, the goalposts keep getting further and further away.
And we work closely with realtors. We get it. We understand your pain. It's not that you don't get leads. There's really no shortage of leads, especially from renters, tired of renting, looking to buy their first home. The problem is the very low conversion rate, i.e., turning those leads into prospects and into sales.
Victor, I read that in Ontario, the average conversion rate is under 1.5%. To put that in perspective, you have to call, on average, 66 leads to get one prospect. And at an average cost of $12 per lead, you're going to want to do everything possible to convert that prospect into a sale.
Yes, and just to be clear, that low conversion rate is not the realtor's fault. It's not for lack of skill. Listen, I've met some great realtors who are amazing at building client relationships and closing deals. The low conversion rate will never change, no matter if you make 100 or 500 calls a week. The problem lies with the buyers and their apparent lack of affordability. And that can lead to frustration, wasted time, and a waste of money. To get more sales and be efficient at it, something has to change on the buyer side of the equation.
Certainly. While preparing for this show, we asked several realtors, hey folks, what can we do right now to help you get one more sale this quarter? They simply said, just help us with this problem. So that's what we're going to talk about today. To your point, it's not about buying more leads or making more calls. Work smarter, not harder, as they say. It's about changing your mindset and adding a step to your existing process. That being said, we believe that there are many leads that go to waste because they are deemed unqualified. But the reality is there could be a way to help them. We believe that by the end of this podcast, you will have the right set of tools to go that extra mile for your clients and get your extra sale.
All right, so let's get right into it. First, I'm going to share 3 important statistics because everyone likes statistics, right? Okay, number 1, in Ontario, about 70% of homeowners over the age of 55 don't have a mortgage. Maybe they had one, but it's paid off. That means that, number 2, these homeowners with current market prices are sitting on an estimated $1.5 trillion in home equity wealth. In other words, they have substantial home equity wealth. Now, these homeowners can be, the parents of the millennials or Gen Y who are your clients trying to get into the housing market, but have challenges with affordability and coming up with a down payment. Do you see where I'm going with this? This leads us to the third statistic. A recent CIBC report shows that more than half of Canadian parents have either given or plan to give a significant gift or early inheritance to their children, with an average being $130,000 for first-time homebuyers.
And there lies the solution. It's quite evident that parents are willing to share their wealth by helping their children with the down payment. As I recall, the report estimated $10 billion was gifted last year.
It also goes to show, Erich, that it's perfectly okay to ask this question when qualifying a lead. To avoid wasting time, realtors want to know early on if a lead has a down payment ready to go. And if not, I know some realtors make it a habit to ask if they have other savings they can tap into, such as RSPs.
So, realtors should make it a common practice to ask their leads, have your parents considered helping you with a down payment? Maybe their parents have thought about it, and now is the time to pursue it.
On a quick side note, we're often asked, how much difference does a gift of $130,000 make? Does it really help? And I say absolutely. According to our affordability calculator, assuming a household income of, say, $130,000.
That's reasonable for a working couple.
Right. So they can afford about $740,000 with that extra down payment, which is about the average price of a condo in Toronto. And there is your sale.
It's a really simple thing that every realtor can add to their qualification process. But it doesn't end there. Remember, and I'm including both mortgage agents and real estate agents, we're all in the relationship building business. We need to establish, develop, and nurture the relationship with our prospects from the very first moment we make contact. This means we also have the opportunity to bring the parents into the conversation and build a relationship with them. Not only does this help your sales process, but it opens up other possibilities for future business with those same parents.
That's a great point, Erich. I was going to say, realtors could leave the gifting process with their clients, meaning let them figure it out on their own and get back to you when they have the funds. But this breaks the relationship cycle. And now you're leaving it in the hands of other bankers who may know other advisors that may refer them to other realtors. And you don't want that.
No. The bottom line is that you want to keep control of the process to convert the lead to a sale and not leave it to a stranger to possibly take your business away.
Exactly. So what should realtors do when they have a lead with parents willing to help?
Well, first, let me mention, Victor, that there is no cost to you, the realtor, or the client. Once you have pre-qualified your clients, simply contact us and let us know more about them and the property they are looking to buy. Look, we don't want to be your typical order taker. We're looking to provide you with the real substance of the matter. Can your client afford the house they have in mind? This is where we come in and realistically assess their needs. So, once you've established that their client's parents are willing to help, we will proceed to connect with everyone involved, the realtor, the clients, the parents, even siblings that might have a say. And then we get the ball rolling.
Okay, so what's next?
Since several strategies are available, Victor, we will expertly assess the situation to make the best possible recommendation. We do that because we have the experience, resources, and availability of the many products designed to meet this purpose. Once we obtain approval for the parent's down payment gift, we underwrite your client for a pre-approval. And since we do all of our own verifications up front, we avoid any of those nasty surprises later on.
And Erich, where's the realtor in this picture?
Oh, we keep you, the realtor, updated every step of the way. So when your client finally receives their pre-approval, you will know exactly how much they qualify for. Now everyone knows which properties to explore.
This process works very well. As mentioned in the introduction, we currently do this for realtors who have a referral partnership with us. Let me give a quick example of how this works. Recently, a realtor referred me to her client. Now, this client is a professional with good income, excellent credit, and some savings to use as a down payment.
Sounds like a great client.
Right. Small problem. The down payment was only enough to buy a condo around $350,000 to $400,000, and that wasn't going to happen, at least not in the GTA. However, the realtor was trained to ask if there was a possibility of receiving an early inheritance, to which her client replied, yes. So I connected with her and her parents and her sibling, and sure enough, they were more than happy to let the client have her portion of the inheritance for the down payment. Now, for privacy reasons, obviously, I can't go into much detail, but suffice to say, we were able to release the equity from the parents' home with a no payment mortgage, after which I made sure to steer the client back to the realtor. And the realtor was a happy camper because now the client could afford much more. And sure enough, 3 months later, they closed on a $600,000 condo for which we also helped finance, of course.
Of course. The key takeaway I get from your story, Victor, is threefold. Number one, we provide you the training needed to have the right conversation. Two, we help establish the relationship between the realtor, the clients, and their parents, and work collectively to find the best solution. And three, maybe most important, is that we do everything possible to ensure your client stays with you. And we do this by controlling all parts of the financing for the parents and the clients.
Absolutely. We will not allow a banker or another agent to poach the client.
Exactly. Because unfortunately, that sometimes happens when an agent sends their client to the bank.
And doing that more than once is far too often. The client belongs to the referral partner. As promised in our intro, I want to mention one final tip for prospecting. Ready? Realtors can go back to their existing client database, specifically to boomers age 55 and up. Why? Well, if you're a realtor who's been in business for several years, believe me, opportunities abound. So here's a tip. Send out a personalized card or a letter to your clients. Let them know you have great news, that you're now able to help their adult children get into the housing market, and that you'd love to reconnect to show them how it's done. It's really that simple. You'll definitely get some replies. And if you want a template, contact us and we'll be happy to share one.
Yes, our email is in the podcast and the YouTube description. But we're also a bit old school, so remember, the phone works great with us. You can reach me, Erich, at 905-767-6018 and Victor, 416-435-8340. Let's have a chat, get to know each other, and maybe consider what's most important in your business. If we can help you get that one extra deal this quarter, it will be worth the effort.
Thanks for sharing that. One more thing. We're looking to collaborate with referral partners on future podcasts and YouTube videos. So if you're interested, please let us know. Thank you, Erich, as always.
Thank you, Victor.
And thank you, listeners, for tuning in. You've been listening to The Mortgage Marketplace with your hosts, Victor Camba and Erich Tratnik. Remember, real wealth is the ability to fully experience life. Until next time, take care.